Chris Hemsworth news. All right, so this is pretty cool. I just came across this article in my Google feed. If you don't know, I'm a huge MCU fan, huge Marvel Cinematic Universe fan, which kind of makes me a huge Chris Hemsworth fan. Now, I haven't seen everything that Chris Hemsworth is in, but I'm a big fan of him as Thor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I very much enjoyed the Netflix film that he did called Extraction. And Extraction is like a military action film where he plays like a mercenary. Fantastic movie. Like, I've seen a lot of action movies in my day, like a ridiculous amount of action films. And this was one of the better ones. Like, a lot of action films that you see nowadays, it's just, it's like Michael Bay trying to make the most Michael Bay movie, ever made. But this one had substance, and it was really fucking good. I thought it was fantastic. I did a little review on it on the channel when it first came out, and I don't remember how much. I don't think I went into a lot of detail of it. I just kind of gave my initial thoughts, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, this is kind of crazy. This article is from Cinema Blend, so I'm just going to go through it with you. But it says, this is the headline. Sounds like Chris Hemsworth's Extraction franchise is about to grow in a major way. Now, first of all, that caught me off guard, because what do you mean franchise? I had never heard anything about this movie having sequels or anything. Actually, if you saw the film, it was kind of up in the air at the end. They made it seem like he died, but they kind of left it open with like a last minute scene where he could possibly be alive. It purposely, leaves it open. But I didn't know that they had actual plans to make a sequel. Anyway, let's get into this article. It says, in a year that saw massive movies delayed or marred by theater closures, Netflix's Extraction proved to be a success. Although the Chris Hemsworth-led film was always meant to hit streaming, I don't think anyone could have predicted how much of an impact it would have. Not only did it receive mostly positive reviews from critics, but it also became the most watched film in Netflix history. So, it didn't come as much of a surprise when the streamer greenlit a sequel. However, writer and producer Joe Russo is now teasing much more for the future of Extraction. Joe Russo, whom most know for his work with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, wouldn't give too many specifics, but he says the streamer is considering creating a universe of Extraction-related films. As a result, a few of the film's characters could end up with spin-offs of their own. And this is the quote from him. I'm still not going to commit because I think it's more exciting to surprise people. But I will say this. We're working at building out a universe of films that could potentially explore some of the other characters from the first movie and some new characters and see more historical interaction between the characters. So if you're interested in David Harbour's character, you just may get to see him in a future Extraction movie. It goes on to say, Extraction introduced a lot of interesting characters, each with different shades of gray. With this, there's definitely plenty of room to flesh them out. When it comes to spin-offs, David Harbour's Gaspar is definitely a prime candidate. It would be nice to see a prequel film that chronicles his life before the events of the film. It would also be cool to see young Avi headline a film of his own. Based on Joe Russo's comments to Collider during the CCXP panel, it sounds like Joe and Anthony Russo are taking some cues from the MCU in crafting this new world. So it would seem that audiences can definitely expect a bit of crossover. Quote, we're trying to find more interesting ways to tell these stories and cross-pollinate them. We're big fans of just forging new paths in narrative. Can we go backwards and forwards at the same time? Can things that happen in the past affect the movies in the present? What are the new ways to tell those stories? And can we see different points of view? Every antagonist is the protagonist in their own story. So can we see their point of view? How do they perceive the world? What makes them empathetic? I think what makes that a compelling element to Extraction Universe is it is a global franchise telling global stories, and we'd like to diversify the point of view in these movies. The MCU has become a template for mapping out cinematic universes. Those studios that have tried to replicate have ended up with varying results. However, the Extraction franchise does have a leg up due to the Russo brothers' involvement. During their time at Marvel, the two handled 4 of the biggest films in the franchise. Needless to say, they're great fits for the world of Extraction. What Extraction spin-offs would you like to see? Let us know in the comments. All right. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. This is an example of one of those things that I didn't even know that I wanted. And that's what I appreciate creators doing. Like, I love... It's something that I aim to do. Like, give people shit that they didn't even know that they wanted, right? And I love that when a film franchise or... a series or a spin-off or something like a book is written. I love when a creator can kind of anticipate shit that I can't even anticipate. Something that I would love to see. And especially with like spin-offs and telling stories of other characters from different points of views, like that is awesome. Awesome. Stuff that I would never think of. Like, I never sat down and said, man, I'd like to see one of these kind of villains in this Extraction movie. I'd like to see a movie from their point of view. Like, who thinks of that? Way more creative people than me think of that. That's who. Anyway, I'm pretty pumped for this. Like I said, I didn't know I wanted it, but now that I know it's coming, I'm like super excited. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening in podcast form, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at RealBrettScott. Let me know. Which spinoff do you want to see? I'm just happy with getting a sequel, like getting another story from the main character. Because I'm guessing, since they made the sequel and they left the ending open, that he's still alive. So there's got to be another story there. It's got to be. And I'd love to see some prequels. I'd love to see some backstories because obviously this main character is severely damaged. He has like severe PTSD. He has severe, things have happened to him in the past. Significant things. And so I want to see what those things are. Anyway, let me know. I'd love to know what you guys want to see. And also, hey, maybe you didn't even like Extraction. Let me know. Do you think this is a dumb idea that they're doing this? Sometimes I get tired of it too. Like, I get tired of everything having to have a sequel or a spin-off or a universe, right? But with this one, surprisingly, I'm game. I'm kind of excited. All right. If you like videos or podcasts like this, here's what I do. Every day I try to pick a random topic, something I'm interested in, something I think is interesting to talk about, and I talk about it. It's everything from entertainment and pop culture to politics to life stories, just anything that comes to mind that I feel like is worth talking about. So if you can vibe with that, if that's something you're into, then please subscribe for more or favorite or follow the podcast. And if you do decide to stick around, then I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Later.